I am from Oxsight. I'm a dispensing optician. I've worked for Oxsight for nearly 2 years now. We specialize in smart technology that helps with um, using parts of the retina that is still responding to the sight side of things. We did start with a product that was for peripheral vision loss, which I will give you a little show of now. This basically had a camera on one side. So as you can see, it has a camera on one side, and then it has two screens that are inside. And basically that camera would present on the two screens, and it would run through a series of prisms and expand field of view. So we found this product was really useful for people with peripheral vision loss. Obviously not so good for people with central vision loss. So that is basically where we started, and we have now evolved, and we've done a lot of research and development on a central vision loss device. We have tested it on 130 patients, and we have had really, really good feedback. So we've found roughly between 70 and 80% of patients have found benefit from the glasses, and they would describe their vision as difficult to recognize faces, difficult to read a newspaper, difficult to see objects off to either side or in front of them. And we did this with a series of testing, and the way we tested was with images. We did images of faces, we did images of objects, and we also did text, which is like we're using a Radna chart, which is a little bit like a Snellen chart, but for reading. And we then scored that system and seen what the improvement was. I believe Marion said earlier, actually, we were actually meant to have this device released last April. Unfortunately, a lot happened just before we were meant to release, which meant that we couldn't test, and testing ended up taking longer because of the circumstances. And it just basically spiraled, and now we're into 2021. But the good news is we do have a release date of sort of mid this year. So that should be hopefully June, July. We are aiming for June, but it might be July. It depends on our manufacturers. We've got everything in place on our end. It's just a matter of we need to know when the manufacturers can catch up with their backlog and then put us top of the priority list, and we can start rolling out the new device. I've actually got a prototype of the device with me today. So the final product probably won't look like this, but it will give you an idea of the kind of format we're going with. So the device is quite small, as you can see. So you'd have it up like this. You've got two screens on the inside. You've got a camera on the front. The camera presents the image onto the screens, and then we have some little screens here that we can screw in and screw out to try and increase magnification just from the actual device itself. But the actual device, the mechanics of it can also increase magnification. So you've got 2 points at which you can alter it for the individual to sort of personalize it for themselves to make it the most comfortable vision they can achieve. The way we have always operated is you will see a professional, you'll see either a dispensing optician or an optometrist, and you might see them in one of our clinics, or you might even see it with one of our clinical partners, which will be either in a hospital or in an optician's, and they will assess you, have a little look at your vision, have a little look at what the glasses can do, how much improvement you get, and they'll give you an honest professional opinion of whether they believe the glasses are useful for you or are not useful for you. One of the big questions is always price on these things. So our original device, which was the peripheral vision loss device, retailed at £4,000. Now the device that is going to be for central vision loss, obviously we expect the population of this device be a lot more popular because it's central vision is the biggest sight loss in the UK. That will retail at £1,500. A lot of the time we get asked, oh, well, what about if it's not affordable for me? Circumstances for people, obviously, especially with COVID that's happened, it's hit people financially quite heavy. There are grants and things you can apply for with your local councils. And if you go to your adult sensory department of your local council, you can apply for a £1,500 grant. Not every time will you get it, but if you are sight impaired and you go through the right avenues, that grant is available. It's just they've got to assess it and then apply what they feel they can afford kind of approach. We also offer finance options, so 0% finance options for 12 months, and we talk with charities and try and do fundraising, and there's lots of avenues for sort of trying to get the device. The main thing is try it, see if it helps, and then we'll look at what avenues we can do trying to get a device for you. I think I've done a lot of talking, so if there's any questions anybody wants, by all means fire some questions at me, and I think that will probably be the best way to give you a real good appreciation of what the device can do and what we kind of offer as well. So who would like to go first? I'm sure there's lots of questions. Anybody?
No, I'm sure.
We're all astounded at the price.
1,500 quid's really good value, actually, considering your last product was $4,000.
Yeah.
So it's come down dramatically.
Exactly.
A lot more affordable.
Yeah. The other device as well, we did do a rental option, because the thing we appreciate is sight loss can be a gradual thing, and it could mean that you may buy a device and 6 months later the device is no use to you anymore, because it still needs some residual sight. So we did a rental option where people could hand the device back if they got to a point where they didn't want to use the device anymore, and that was sort of £80 per month. So people had both options, they could rent it or they could buy it outright, depending on what they want to do.
Are you a national or international company?
We are national at the moment. We are going international. So we have got sort of clinical partners in Holland. We've got clinical partners in China, India. We've also got some testing being done on the new central vision loss device in America, and there's talk about us rolling that in America as well. So we are going international. We've got a global website, which is www.oxsightglobal.com, which actually shows you the schematics of what this central vision loss device should actually look like at the end. So that's what they're hoping to achieve cosmetically, if you want to have a little ganders at the website as well. I'm more than happy to give you a contact number if anybody wants to sort of have more of a personal conversation about their eye condition and what they think it might do, or what I might think it might do for them. If that's something that's appealing to people, I'm more than happy to do that as well.
Yes, please. That would be really useful.
Yeah, of course. I will. I'll do that for you as well. Is there any other questions that anybody has?
Have you been in touch with Access to Work? Because there could be a lot of people that have visual impairment that are actually based in the office and work for a company, and they should actually get a grant to cover the cost of this device.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a real super question, actually, which is a question I don't normally get asked, actually. But yes, yeah, we are with Access to Work. It's really difficult because Access to Work is, it depends in what region you're in, and it depends on what person stood in front of you, whether you'll get help with our device. It's really strange. We've had so much with Access to Work, and we've also had a lot of people being turned down because they don't quite understand the product. So we do have patients who have bought the device through Access to Work. Yes.
Right. Okay.
I'll just give you that contact number. So my personal contact number, if you want to contact myself and have a private discussion, is 07508 742 182. So that's 07508 742 182. And by all means, I'm more than happy to take a conversation with yourselves. Wednesday afternoons and Saturdays are the best days to get hold of myself. If you want to leave, obviously though, if you want to leave a message, you're more than welcome to, and I'll call you back. It's just because of, I know it's typical, but because of COVID, I've got to do childcare during the other times. So
yeah.
So
where are you actually based, Ryan?
I'm based in Leicestershire.
Right. Okay.
But the actual company is based in Oxford. So the Oxsight is we originated from Oxford University.
Yeah.
We're a spin-out company from Oxford.
So you're one of the tech startups from Oxford.
Indeed, that's exactly it. Yeah. A lot of the people that started through that process is still with us. So Rakesh, who is our CEO, he is actually still the head of the company, and also
who's the CTO?
Rakesh.
Is
Rakesh
the CTO?
Roshan.
He's the Chief Technology Officer, or is he the?
No, he looks at trying to get investment into the company, and then we've got the Stephen Hicks is the technology side of
Right.
things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. You said you're a dispensing optician.
I am indeed. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Do you actually still practice, or is this your full time? Is this your full time job now?
Yeah, this is my full time. Well, I say full time. I do 2 days, but yeah, this is as full
Yeah.
time as I can. Yeah, I do. This is what I do all the time. But
So you're not dispensing anymore.
I only dispense in low vision products, not so
Right,
much
okay.
glasses anymore. Yeah, so because we still have to do assessments and other things. So yeah, I still do.
Is that
Do
your
things.
professional development?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of going into sort of low vision technology.
CPD, isn't that what they call it? Continued professional development. So
Yeah,
people
that's yeah, exactly. There's that. There's also you can actually get a low vision qualification, which is something that we'll be doing with Oxsight as well.
cool.
But you do actually have to cover low vision in the dispensing optician qualification, the foundation degree. So
Cool.
So can I ask which eye conditions, I know it's only a broad thing, but which do you seem to cover mostly? Which, say for this central vision one, which eye conditions would you assume it would work best for?
Of course, yeah. So I'll talk about the like you say the central vision loss one first. So with testing, well, the patients that we've done testing on, we've done Cod-Round dystrophy, macular degeneration, Leber's, Stargardt's, some neurology sight loss. So we've had stroke related. We've also had brain tumors. I'm trying to think of some of the others.
What was the first one? I missed the very first thing that you said. Was it Rodcone dystrophy, did you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
That's
and
really a broad term, isn't it, for like anything?
it is. It really is. But you know what? The big question we used to get with our other device, because it can expand field of view. Obviously, there's a lot of people in that bracket as well that really would like an expanded field of view, but rod cone dystrophy generally will really affect the clarity of vision as well.
Yep.
And with our old product, if you didn't have a very good level of clarity, it really wasn't really going to work for you. It needs sort of a really nice level of clarity, but a very limited field of view, and it was worked really well. So people generally with like retinitis pigmentosa or hemianopias worked well with that device. In some cases, not all cases, obviously, but with the new device, obviously you can have a lower level of clarity. So, for example, I can say the gentleman's name because he was actually done some PR on a paper. So Nathan Tree has Cod-Round dystrophy. He has a very limited clarity of vision, and he tried the device and he got quite a significant increase. So he reported that he could see his mother's face again, and he hadn't seen it in 15 years. So it really is a nice device and nice product to use. Reporting of seeing faces again is quite a common one with the device. It seems to be because the fixation point on the central vision loss device is about 1.5 meters away. Having a conversation with someone's quite with that on. But you actually can see in the distance and you can see close up and you can zoom in and you don't lose that much clarity either. Whereas with our old device, you zoomed in and you lost the clarity. The more you zoomed in, the more degraded the image became. So that was one of the downsides of that device, and we sort of had a look at how we can correct that with this one.
So
What's
how does
the
focus?
Sorry, go ahead.
I just wondered what the focusing, how that can work if you're looking at something quite close and then you're looking for something in the distance. Is it all very auto-focused then?
It is also focused, and that's one of the things that we really have looked into. And I don't know whether Mary can remember this from our very, very, very basic prototype. It looked a bit different to this, but when you tried it on, the autofocus really was interfering because it would autofocus and the image would be lovely. But the problem was as soon as you moved, which is very common, especially if you've lost the dexterity in your hands, or you've started to get shakes or anything like that, the image would then start to autofocus. So what we're going to do is we're going to reduce the amount of autofocusing it does, and we're also probably going to put something in where you can make it autofocus yourself, which will be quite nice. So if you do move and you want to look in the distance, you can tap a button and it autofocuses, and vice versa for close up. That's what we're looking into trying to achieve with the new device as well.
In terms of distance, what sort of distance does it have for looking for, what's the furthest away it'll focus?
That's a really good question. Now, I can tell you in regards to like Snelling charts and things like that, because we've not actually gone outside and looked with the device to look at things. But if you've got 20/20 vision, which is an American, we call it 6/6, which is sort of the grade that you want to hit for like most human beings can achieve that kind of level of sight. With the device on, you can see 6/12. So that's the level of, if you need to drive, that's the level that DVLA say is the minimum. That's the absolute minimum sight you need to be able to drive. Not that you can drive with the device because it's got all the complications with it and magnification, but that's the kind of level.
Right.
That's what the glasses can achieve with.
So that's that one out then. I can never drive with it then.
Unfortunately not.
No, damn. Yeah. Oh well, I was actually getting my hopes up. Woo!
Yeah, I know. Hopefully one day that'll be achievable with technology. But the downside to it, because you need to zoom in to be able to achieve it, your field of view gets reduced, and the depth of image becomes really, really obscured because it looks really close.
Yeah.
So you could look for a bus number and you'd be able to achieve, right, that's the bus coming, I'm going to zoom in, right, that's the bus number, great, I'll click a button, zoom back out and have a look at the timetable, or trying to figure out what change I need, or those kind of things.
Yeah.
But it won't be great for if you wanted to walk around with it on, or that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Ryan, good afternoon. My name's David. Your devices, I'm interested in it. 2 questions. When is this thing going to be fully launched?
So the idea is we're going to hopefully have products for sale in June, July this year. Hopefully June, but it might be July.
Second question, bearing in mind what you mentioned in terms of the eye conditions, i.e. levers and Stargards, I'm assuming maybe you might not have heard of Retina UK?
Yeah, we're with Retina UK. We've done a lot of events with the Retina UK. We'll do.
I actually work for them.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, so I can't remember the lady's name at the Retina UK that we normally speak to, but we have done events with Retina UK.
Are you aware about this coming Friday?
I don't think we've not got any staffing at the moment.
That's
so
right. Okay. I mean, what I'm getting at is there is a professional conference on Friday.
Oh right, okay. Well, I'll mention it to my COO and see if there is somebody going to that. But is there anything you could possibly send over via email?
Well, you'd have to go through that. I work on one of the helplines and other stuff like that. But you could probably go through their website to get professional registration.
Of course. Well,
but I think the whole thing's set up anyway by now.
No problem.
It also maybe, because of what you said, it might be worth you speaking to them, because the products you've got would be helpful to clients that I get to talk to and other help teams talk to that have got quite useful vision, unquote. I mean, it's no use to me because my sight is pretty well gone, but there's a lot of people, younger people, who've still got useful vision, which is what your product's basically fired at. Yeah,
I mean, we have done a lot of endorsements for our Retina UK, so it's a bit worrying that you've not don't know a little bit more about us actually, but we do a lot with Retina UK. We are just at the minute, just because of everything, obviously. Yeah, communications.
We've got the same problem as well, because a lot of people are furloughed. There's nobody. Everyone's working from home. So there may be somebody within your organisation that knows and is actually involved in Friday's conference.
Yeah, could well be.
I'd flag it because there could be a useful resource and linkage for you.
Yeah.
And also that within our help teams as well, we could use you and signpost your product for those who've got sufficient wherewithal. I mean, 1,500 quid isn't bad considering what it seems to do compared to other products which are around, which are 2 or 3 times the amount.
Yeah, and we appreciate the cost element. I mean, one day hopefully we want to achieve it where it's not just about people with low vision. We want to make a product so that even people with ordinary vision want to use it, because once you break that barrier point, it's not about price. Then it becomes about normality. It becomes normal for people to have these devices on, and then once you get that, you can start making devices for, that people can walk around in, etc., because then, your buying power becomes stronger, and it's boring stuff, but there's a lot of
Wearable technologies, yes, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Interesting stuff, huh?
My pleasure.
May I ask, if you walked into an optician and asked to have your eyes tested to see if you would benefit from these spectacles, does the National Health Service pay for that, or do you have to pay for it yourself?
Okay, so if you went in to ask them if these glasses would benefit you, if you went for a traditional eye test, then obviously the National Health would cover the eye test. If you went in to ask about our product to see if that would help, the actual appointment itself is free of charge. If you've already had the eye test and they have an appreciation of what level of vision you already have, all they need to do then is have a little look at what the report says, and then have a little look at what the product does, and be able to marry up the two and say, right, yeah, I think it could help you in this aspect, but maybe not this aspect, or yes, it can help you overall. Or it depends on what the individual wants to achieve. A lot of the time we get, will it help me walk to and back from the shop? The truth is, no, it won't. But if you said, I want to be able to do a crossword, or I want to be able to watch the television, I want to be able to go to a restaurant and eat my food and not have to ask what I'm eating, they're the things it can achieve. But, there's a few things that still cannot achieve. So it depends. But no, you wouldn't have to pay. It should be free of charge.
Thank you. A further question, please. I am due for an eye test, so I shall come into that category. Will all the opticians, by the time the glasses are launched officially, will they have had the information coming to them if we try to get a test in before they were launched?
I understand what you're saying. The information is freely available, but to be honest, most opticians don't really pay enough attention to low vision. The amount of attention that low vision really should have, it will be dedicated time to. You find that a lot of opticians don't really lend themselves to low vision. So it's only a select few that we will be partnering with and working together with. We are in talks with a very widespread, well-known opticians that should be able to help us cover the whole of the UK and other countries as well. So then it should be more freely available, putting you in. No,
Good.
I can't say.
Nah.
But
DNA.
I'm really not allowed to say. DNA is not boots.
Would it be possible for you to let Vision Support know when it's available, and they can circulate that information?
I was going to say, Ryan, actually, sorry to interrupt you, Barbara, but once we're hoping, obviously, that by July, our support centres hopefully will start to reopen. Would it be,
thank you,
would you be able to come along, or somebody come along, and those people that want to try it, would you have a demonstration model or something for people to try before they?
Certainly, we would be more than happy to do. We are hoping that's the way we work. So that is exactly what we would be hoping to achieve. So,
and if people bought a sort of, I don't know, if they'd had an eye test and bought, say, their prescription with them or their details with them, presumably you could, will you have ones to set, would you be able to sell them to them there and then? And
it depends on the amount of stock we have. I mean, the truth of the matter is, we would love to be able to get a load of stock, have it freely available so that we can sell to the quantities that we believe that want it. But the truth of the matter is, we're a very, very small company, so we have to buy in very small quantities. Right. So we may well sell out quite quickly, which means that then we need to get more quantities in, but we can get quantities quickly. So I can't promise that we definitely have them sell right then and there. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we will. But we'll definitely have something that person can try, and then we can get it to them at a convenient way.
Well. Okay, so we'll liaise with you then once that's launched, and then we'll arrange, once the support centres are open, for you to come along and people can come to the support centre to try it. Yeah,
that sounds fantastic.
Thank you very much. Could you just confirm the price again?
Yes, it's £1,500.
I thought it was 15,000.
Oh no, that
makes a difference. I misheard that then. Thank you very much. That's very helpful.
Probably because I mumble. I do apologise.
Also, Ryan, I'm not sure, but I know because I apply for quite a few grants for people, Warwickshire aren't one of the counties that provide any support. I don't think you'll find in that area, based on my experience.
Right.
It's not to say that we couldn't probably try somewhere else to try and get support.
Yeah.
But at most of the other places that are means tested, the grants that we've applied for. So
Right. Okay. Well, that's really sad. That is. Fair enough.
Would the RNIB be helpful there? Would they help with some financing?
they supply grants up to £500, but they're all means tested, and you have to be in receipt of a means tested benefit in order to qualify.
What about the Thomas Poppleton Trust?
The who, sorry?
Thomas Poppleton Trust?
I haven't heard of that one actually, but we've got
They're like the
listed-
RNIB,
right. We've got a lot.
and they're massive. So
Right.
that's an avenue you could.
Yeah, well,
I'll
we have
help you do
tried a
that one
lot
if
of
you
them,
want.
but most of them, Miles, are all means tested. Even the ones that we use all want somebody to be in receipt of some sort of benefit in order to qualify.
Okay.
But we will try. If financing it, like Ryan said, is a problem, then on an individual basis, I think we'll look at that with the person that's.
I could try and figure out somewhere, maybe trying to get companies to sponsor them.
That would be
Companies
a
like
different option
Spexer,
to
yeah.
obviously us applying for grants for people. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. I'll look into that for you.
that'd be great.
Okay.
Anybody with any more questions?
Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
I just wondered if it was a very unique project, or is there other people in the same area?
I wouldn't say it's a unique product, because there are people trying to achieve the same things. It's unique in the sense of how we're trying to achieve that kind of vision with the sort of smart technology, because a lot of the time, a lot of technology will use other technologies to help it achieve what it wants, like phones or that kind of thing. Whereas our devices is purely our technology. You buy our device and you've got the whole thing, the whole package there. And also we're doing it with screens, and we're also doing it with trying to alter magnification. So yeah. No and yes. No, it's not. There's lots of devices out there trying to achieve the same thing. Yes, we're just slightly trying to achieve it in a different way.
Hello,
Wendy, did you want to ask a question? Or?
Yeah. Hello, Ryan.
Hello.
I don't know if you remember me. I brought your glasses.
Yes, yeah.
I
remember, yeah. We had to do a special fitment for you, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. What I love about the glasses is you get the peripheral vision, because I haven't hardly got a very much peripheral vision. So when you wear the glasses, and you actually got some peripheral vision, it's absolutely brilliant. But I've been mainly using them in restaurants and cafes, but because I've not been able to go, then that's why I haven't really been wearing.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. They are a social thing. And which, to be honest, Wendy, it's really, really great that actually that you said that, because the device, the crystal and prism device that you're referring to, the device we originated with, the expansion of field of view, the hardest thing about that so far is everybody who wants to buy them not getting any benefit. They can't see they can't go out and achieve and enjoy what exactly it's trying to do, So it's it is a great product when you can get out there and use it.
Yeah, rather than just seeing somebody's nose or an eye, and then you can actually see two people, or you can look round the pub and see a table of people. It's so fantastic in that way.
You can get submersed in the atmosphere, which is lovely.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm looking forward to getting out there again. I haven't been to a cafe yet outside, so I'm looking forward to start using them again.
I braved it when we went out, because we wanted to go to the charity shop, because there's something we wanted to get for my little boy, because it's for his birthday, and it was mental, absolutely mental. And we stopped off at a Costa and sat outside. There's only one, so he hasn't been out yet. So he was really, really confused sitting there, bless him. We were sitting outside of Costa, but yeah, it was lovely.
Cold.
It was
Yeah.
actually all right. It was quite a nice day, actually. Yeah.
I found shopping a great challenge. I can't see what I'm looking at, and I can't see the prices.
Yeah, that's a common one. The device that the central vision loss device, this one, we're going to try and make it two things. So one, you can either have it like this and handhold it. So say if you wanted to check a price in the shop, you can put it at your bag, have a little look at the price, put it back away again. Or you can actually clip sides and have it so that you can mount it on and wear it like a pair of glasses as well.
It would be helpful then.
Yeah.
Could I ask, Ryan, do you use your prescription spectacles in conjunction with them, or is it just your attachment?
Yeah, lovely. Great question, Marion, actually. Brilliant question. You can use your own glasses and put the device over the top. But in testing, we found that probably only 10% of people found any benefit doing that. Most people just use the device on its own because it gives such quite a high level of magnification. It gets 8 times magnification anyway, and then you can actually adjust the lenses to increase that magnification on top of that. And even those that need more magnification, sort of 8 times, still found quite a great deal of benefit with them. So, yeah, sometimes you can, but generally speaking, no. You should be able to just wear them without your prescription lenses.
But I've been now, I've had macula now for 12, 13 years. Obviously, it's been getting worse. I've had the pleasure of not seeing my wife's wrinkles for all that time. But after Sunday, because I can't see features, it's not going to help if she's going to have in case she has another stroke.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Because she came upstairs on the Monday morning and said, "My face doesn't feel right. Can you have a look?" And even at close range, it wasn't difficult. It was difficult to see.
Yeah.
And her voice and my hearing aids are not compatible, so half the time I can't hear what she's saying. But it sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, with that kind of element of things, if it was beneficial for you, I mean, that would be vital, really. That would be really, really big help, wouldn't it? Yeah.
I think 2 years last January, I said, they was improved and I could read things, which excited my wife quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big one is faces, to be fair. And I know, we can help with reading elements as well. And we're talking about using scroll text and contrast elements.
Yeah.
And, it can actually, if you're in a bar or pub, you can locate if somebody comes in, so you can click to see if you know the person, so you can say hello to them, or you can disengage with it so that you don't have to. It's got a lot of elements to it that can help. And there's only sort of 4 buttons to try and make it so that it's as usable and friendly as possible. But like you say, it can help in so many ways. It's great I'm so excited to have it. I really, really want to be able to show people and put it on people's faces. So I've done the testing, like I say, for a lot of patients, and some of the changes have been really significant.
Because when you said it would be ready for April and it wasn't, I did contact the firm, and they they put me in the picture. So looking forward. My middle daughter, my technician, she says I can afford one.
Fair enough.
So,
permission granted.
Sorry?
Permission granted.
Oh, yeah. This is off the kids, this is. Well, the thing is, it's their heritage that I'm spending, so it can't be bad. But thanks for that.
That's
looking forward to it.
Yeah, ditto.
Ryan, I think it's going to be helping with the social life, because I've got into the habit when I'm out among the shops, when I was out among the shops, of keeping my eyes on the ground in case I pass somebody that we know each other and I can't see that they're who they are.
Yeah. To be able to pull it out your bag and go 1 second and go, oh, hello,
yeah.
I ain't seen you in a while. Yeah, it'd be brilliant.
You wouldn't recommend it to keep it on then at all?
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't. To be honest, Barbara, the last thing you want is to become too reliant on technology, and that's me saying it. And I work with technology, but
Yeah.
you want to keep your level of sort of independence and do as much without sort of those kind of things as possible, and only use it really when you really need it. And then that way, if technology, for example, the battery dies or something, you still need a level of being able to go places and.
Thank you.
Oh, actually, I'll tell you about the battery life, because that's one question that hasn't been asked. The battery life will be roughly about 2 to 3 hours, and you can put an external battery pack in if you want to, like you can with phones and things like that. So it'll be very similar to the product we've got at the moment. I'm sure Wendy's aware you can put like an external battery pack into that as well, to extend its battery life.
Can I just ask about the magnification? You said 8 times.
Yeah.
Is that the kind of LVA 8 times or the normal glasses 8 times? Because there's a difference, isn't there?
There is a difference, yeah. No, LVA.
Okay, thank you. The big type. So yeah, that's quite big then, actually. Thank you.
That's my pleasure. Obviously with the lenses, that because the 8 times is the actual device itself, what that can do alone. But then you have a +5 lens in front of the lenses.
Oh my goodness.
So you can extend that power. You know, you can screw it right up to the screen so that you've not got hardly any power at all. I'm sure you're aware, the further away a plus lens is from what you want to see, the larger it gets. And you know, I don't want to tell you to suck eggs or anything.
No. To be honest, I've nearly seen you so many times at drop-in centres, because I actually work as a volunteer at the drop-in centres, and whenever you've been at either Leamington or wherever, I've been desperate to see you, but I've been working with clients, and by the time I've finished my session, you've always been gone. So I've nearly seen you so many times and never achieved it yet. So
yeah, that's typical.
We'll make sure when he comes back to Leamington, Mel, that we hold on to until you've finished.
That's it. You're doing the IT that week, Kate.
I don't hold out much hope for the people then. If I'm left to do the IT.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I'd love to see it. I mean, I have tested other devices for other companies, so it'll be interesting to see it in relation to the other things that I've tested.
Yeah,
as well. So
yeah, I mean, we've had people with another device, but I want to say Give Vision.
Yeah, that's right. That's the one I've tested.
They compared the two together.
Yeah.
Ours is lighter, but because it's in its prototype phase, it's not wearable, and it wasn't comfortable. So she said the Give Vision one was more comfortable than our prototype, which we would expect, to be honest, because we never made it for full-time sort of that wear for a long period of time. We only made it for testing.
Yeah.
So then, you know, when it is released, it should be more wearable. But she said looking at the television was really comfortable in comparison. You know, not that she couldn't do it with Give Vision, but it was very comfortable with our device. So it was really nice to hear. You know, we have had some comparisons. I can't say too much, but that was one of the comparisons that we sort of was.
Yeah, that's really interesting, because it was Give Vision that I did the testing for, so that tells me exactly what I need to know.
Yeah. Where's it manufactured?
It's manufactured in the UK.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a positive, isn't it?
Very positive. Yeah.
Any more questions?
Yeah. How long have you been? Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
May I ask, please? I have a video magnifier that's been loaned to me, and I don't get a particularly good image on it. Would it be better with the device that you're talking about?
It could well be. I mean, you might use a combination of the two, but you should be able to just use our device and be able to read with it. It really depends, Barbara, on the level of what the sort of level of vision you're at the moment. So it's hard for me to say yes, it will. But hopefully, yeah, you should be able to achieve it. I mean, yeah, I'd probably be better off having a conversation with you about your vision and sort of trying to understand it a bit better to be able to give you a more definitive answer.
Thank you.
So Can I ask again? Does that mean you can sort of do away with ordinary spectacles?
I suppose it's the same answer as Barbara's. Really, it really
Yeah.
depends on your vision. We wouldn't recommend getting rid of spectacles because there may be some elements where having a spectacle to use would be beneficial.
Yeah.
But maybe in other elements, yeah, you might not need it for some things, and maybe others. You might be able to go to a restaurant and not have to take your reading glasses with you, but then you might not. It really depends on the individual. It's really hard to say. I'm sorry, can't be more definitive.
Because I've just had some new specs, and because I hadn't been tested and seen for 2 years, not the ophthalmologist, the technician that sorts you out after you've had your eyes tested.
Yeah.
I said, is there much difference between the last test and this one? And they said yes. The prescription's different. The difference I've had is that I was at the time I saw you, I was wearing a pair of bronze over glasses, which in actual fact I left and he sent them to me, and when they were broken when I got them. But I had the yellow tint put on the lenses.
Yeah.
But I find now that if I wear my previous prescription or if I don't wear anything, it's just as good as wearing the new specs. So I've wasted,
Yeah, I mean, the big question for me, really, I think if you was sat in front of me, I would probably state, yes, there's been a large change in prescription, but not necessarily is a large change in prescription for people with low vision going to mean that they're going to get more clarity. And that's the big question. Is the prescription giving me a significant change in clarity? If it's not giving you a significant change in clarity, then it doesn't matter if there's a large change or not, really.
As I say, the only clarity I get is from the fact that they are orange lenses.
Yeah, that's quite a popular one.
They bring more light in and they sharpen up the image.
Yeah, contrast more than clarity, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really.
The yellow cuts out the blues, isn't that right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, exactly that. That's exactly it.
May I ask if Vision Support would kindly let us know when you've negotiated a contract with a multiple, one of the big opticians?
Yeah, I mean, I'll let her know. I'll let Louise know as well. I'll let everybody know exactly what the process is as soon as we have everything nailed down.
Lovely, thank you very much.
I think everybody wants to see the final product, and as soon as we can do that, as soon as we can get the manufacturers to give us a good quantity, and we can answer a lot of questions that a lot of people are asking, we'll have a definitive answer for most things. Then.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Barbara, we'll definitely book Ryan to come along to the support centres, and then we'll let everybody know when he's coming.
Thank you.
Good.
If you know of anybody in my district where I live at Shipstone Stour that's coming in a car and would pick me up, I'd be very grateful.
Yeah, I mean, actually, I have a good relationship with a few people who attend the Stratford upon Avon and also the Leamington group. So if I do know that they are coming, I will be in touch with you and see if you know each other to be able to car share.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very good.
Thank you.
Is that everybody?
Yeah.
Lovely. That's been a real pleasure to speak to you all. Some brilliant questions as well. But obviously, I've given my contact number. If anybody wants to get in touch or ask any questions, like I say, I do only work 2 days a week at the moment, and unfortunately, that can be. But
I can't see to write things down, so if Vision Support would publish it.
Yes, I've written it down, Barbara. It'll all be on our website. It will all
Thank
be.
you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, it will all be there.
Lovely.
Sorry, which 2 days can we contact you, Brian? You said you only work 2 days.
Wednesday and Saturday.
Afternoons. That's right. Wednesdays and Saturdays. Yeah.
Wednesdays and Saturdays. Thank you very much. I must have missed that bit. Sorry, Kate.
It's all right. Don't worry. Like I say, all that information. I'll make sure all that information's on the website. So.
Yeah, I've got that down now.
We do obviously have a direct contact number for our care as well, which I could give if you'd like as well. Obviously, they are from Monday to Friday. And by all means, you can sort of leave a message with them as well. That contact number is 01865 580 255. If it's a question that is regarding your vision, the most likely thing is it will be me who will call you back. So, but by all means, again, I'll give that number 01865 580 255.
Lovely, thank you.
I've got that one as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So like I say, Ryan, if you can contact us to let us know so we can book you in for a date once the support centre's open, that'd be great.
Oh, yeah, very exciting. Yeah, definitely.
Have you got a date when you might be open?
Are you talking to us as Vision Support?
I'm talking to Vision Support.
Yes, we haven't got an exact date yet, but we're working towards hopefully opening June, July, I believe. But we can't give you an exact date. But I promise you that once we can, everybody will know. Once we can open again.
I think we're all in the same sort of boat, aren't we? We're all sort of waiting to make sure that they're happy with how they roll out.
I think that's the thing, is we've got to wait for the government guidelines. Each
Exactly.
step is before we can actually say definitely the date that we're launching up.
That's exactly the same boat that we're in as well. Yeah.
Lovely. Oh,
Brilliant.
Thank you, Ryan.
That's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Ryan.
who's that?
We'll just, if you want to stay on, you're welcome to, Ryan, but now we'll just cover a few other
Ryan,
things
I have a
before we finish
question.
the meeting. So
I'll probably shoot off then.
Yeah.
It's
I
an
think
absolute pleasure.
Shav has a question, doesn't he?
oh, sorry, Shav.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shav, I did. You haven't got your video on. I couldn't see.
Oh,
Go on, fire away.
sorry, I'm having connection issues.
You going
But,
round and round.
if it doesn't work for anyone day to day for whatever reason, what's the returns policy?
Yeah, they have 2-week return policy. So if somebody takes it home, say if they did they would only buy it if they benefited, because they'd have to be sort of trying it and make sure that it was comfortable for them. But if they got home and it didn't really work for the things they hoped it would work for, they've got 2-week period that they can send it back to us and they get a full refund. So
Okay.
yeah.
Ryan, there's
Thank you.
one question I haven't asked you, which I would be interested in knowing if it would help you to be able to write, because I can't see what I'm writing at now.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the good things about a device that's trying to use the peripheral part of your retina, is that if you can read with it, then you should be able to write with it.
Yeah.
And you should be able to read people's writing as long as it's decent handwriting.
That would be enormous help.
But yes, to answer that, if you should read with it, yeah, you should be able to write with it.
Lovely, thank you.
My pleasure.
Good.
But I'll shoot off and let you all you, if you have any questions, by all means, fire them at me and in email or in a call or anything.
Thank you. Thank you very much for coming along.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
pleasure.
Very good.
Thank
Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Right.
I
I've
have
just
to go
got.
too, I'm afraid. I'll see you on in a fortnight.
Okay.
Bye.
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 I will have to go too and say
Bye.
goodbye. Thank you
Bye.
very much.
Oh,
We are depleted in numbers.
and
There's
then
only
there
a couple of things, I think.
then there were none.
There is, I don't know whether anybody on our website, the Site Village link has been put up, and next Tuesday and Wednesday, you can sign up to the Site Village different presentations if there's any that appeal to you to join.
Is that all virtual this year?
It is all virtual, yeah.
No, it is.
Is it
That
not?
one is, but there is another one in.
August.
It isn't
I think there's
virtual.
an August one, which is going to
yeah,
be face to face.
It is in August. That's right, Miles. It is August. Yeah.
Right, thanks.
The one next week obviously is virtual.
It's virtual,
yeah.
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 Via Zoom, I think.
Yeah.
And I think Louise mentioned last week or a fortnight ago about sending out some bottles that you use.
She did.
To put, she's still in the process. She just asked me to tell everybody she will be getting them out to you. She hasn't managed to get them all out yet because she
Right.
hasn't been into the office to collect them. And then the last thing, sorry, I've got a problem with my hearing. Last thing was the thing that you mentioned, Ian, about the lateral flow tests, and on the RNIB website, which again the links have all should be put on our website now, is that I have had a reply back from the RNIB, and they are looking into the problem that you experienced with the Be My Eyes problem.
Yes.
They've got a specialist looking into that, and they will let me know what the outcome of that is. But you can, if you get a lateral flow test, you can phone the telephone number again, which I think should be on our website, and it can talk you through the instructions, or you can go on to the RNIB, or we can do it for you for those who haven't got somebody to assist them, and ask for a copy in digital, braille, or enlarged print.
Right.
That's all on those links that I've sent through to you on your email.
That's brilliant, because in the instructions that come with the pack,
yeah, no, they are small, I know.
It simply says, I don't know if you can actually read it over the screen. It simply says in tiny writing, if you're visually impaired, get some sighted help.
Yeah, it's all the RNIB have actually been working for in the last year with the government on all the things that have been coming out, and it does say on here, they've tried to improve accessibility, but they know that it's not completely foolproof at the moment, so they're still developing things, I think.
I appreciate that, Kate, but we're 11 years after the Equality Act. The government is not following its own act of Parliament. Surprise.
I agree.
Well,
it's pathetic.
You like I say, you can order the instructions to come in large print, and we can do that for anybody who hasn't got
I do appreciate that, Kate. But this I appreciate it, but this doesn't tell you that.
No,
if you receive this, you don't know there is a large print or a braille copy. Yeah. So there you go. But thank you very much for doing that, Kate. I do appreciate that.
I mean, the only thing I can suggest, like I say, the RNIB are working with them. I have forwarded your email onto the RNIB, and that hopefully, I just feel as a national charity, they're more likely to have the resources to follow that up with the government than we are as a local charity. Like I say, I'm happy to, I'm liaising with them now. They have come back to me. So I will mention again, and I will follow that up, that, you know, maybe on the leaflet that you get from the chemist, there should be a link to their site if that's where you get the order for the large print. I agree. But I feel that
it's just that there's a
they're the ones that are dealing with the government.
Is your
yeah, can you hear me now?
Sorry, I think we're accidentally talking over each other. Your internet's not here. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't want to talk over you, but I can't tell when you're finished.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say thank you very much for doing that. That's great, and especially the mix up with Be My Eyes.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know as soon as I get something.
It is a brilliant app.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Kate. That's great.
I'll carry on pursuing it, but like I say, I think I have to go through the RNIB to pursue it, just because I think their clout probably will be more than I can do from a local charity's point of view.
Yeah, sure. Have any of the other members of the Zoom meeting, has anybody else done one of these lateral flow tests? Have you tried? What's your experience?
No, I haven't done one. I do have a link if anybody wants it, that I can get you a load of free ones.
You can pick them up from your chemist now.
Oh, right, okay. You can get a free pack sent to you.
Since last Monday, if you can see it on the screen at all, since last Monday you can pick a pack up like this at your chemist.
Oh, right, okay.
And it's got 7 in it, so it lasts 3.5 weeks. And you just do the tests and you submit them. Either submit them online if you can see what you're doing, or one of these other methods which we've been discussing, which aren't working particularly well if you're visually impaired. But it's a great. I can highly recommend doing the tests. We just need a better way for visually impaired people to be able to actually perform it and to report it.
I think I'll actually walk down to the chemist now and see if I can get any. And then
it's not to try and not give it to you. They want to give it to you. They just want tracking. They want tracking information.
Right. Okay.
I will hopefully in a fortnight I'll be able to tell you if I've got any more information on that.
Oh, fantastic! Thanks, Kate. Yeah. But these packs have been available to all adults since Monday. So, you know, if you want to get a negative test, if you're planning to travel abroad